Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. Señoras y señores, live! It's time!
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're enjoying your evening, and thank you for all of the patience. As I don't know what just happened with our show starting.
We made it.
We made it. Let's go. Let's get it going. We are here with you live on a Wednesday night to preview week 2 of the NFL. We have so much to get to. Thank you guys for being patient with us as we had some technical difficulties getting us in. I mean, Scotty gets back into the show, and all of a sudden we have all these technical difficulties.
Don't you dare blame it on me. I was an innocent bystander here.
Yes.
Just chilling.
I will say that is true.
My man!
That's true. Welcome back, Scotty. I know it's been a minute.
Thank you.
It's been a minute, but we are here.
Big announcement, by the way. I did come home with the trophy this year in the golf tournament. So brought it home for the first time ever. Because we play with handicaps, and I have the best handicap. So it's hard to win, but I did it, Chris. I did it.
All right. How did you like Seattle?
Obviously we golfed a lot, so I didn't see a ton. I mean, I saw Seattle. We took some ferry rides, and I didn't go into the heart of downtown Seattle and hang out that much. But it was the weather was held off. There was no rain really. I mean, outside of a few drops, so I'll take it.
Okay.
You just don't see the sun a lot. You don't see the sun a ton, but it's fine. I wouldn't live there, but it's fine.
Just take it as it comes. It's just
It's not a bad city. There's some perks there. There's some nice features about it.
Casually average.
I just don't like the gloom.
Yeah.
It's just too gloomy.
Yeah. That's fair. Well, and then you come back and we got 90-degree weather here in Colorado. So it's
oh my gosh, it was ridiculously hot today.
It's crazy.
Coaching, and I'm sweating out there.
Yeah, it's a little aggressive right now. It is, and I'll admit, I kind of I'm not hating the warm weather because the cool weather's around the corner. But I'll take what we can get for now. Welcome into everybody in the chat. Let's go. McDuggets, Brendan, Tickle, Texan. What's up, Hauser? Hauser's in the house. Chairman popping in. Scotty just said he won the golf tourney because he was playing with handicaps.
Chairman, tell me you don't know anything about golf without telling me you don't know anything about golf. That you did it in the chat. If you don't know what a handicap is in golf, just look it up. Just Google.
It's just playing with
ChatGPT or ask Alexa or ask whoever.
It's a Make-A-Wish kind of vibe. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Diacola?
What you think it is, Chairman, and it's a normal term used in golf.
Yeah. Sure. All right. Starting off the show on the right foot. Average Texan, the main game I'm excited is Houston, Tampa Bay, because no matter who does well, I'm getting points. I have CJ and Baker, so either way, major points for me. Okay, well, there you go. Boom. Let's see. I don't think you're supposed to call that Scott.
What if hold on, real quick, what if neither of them do well? just
devil's advocate there.
I'm just saying, I'm not hoping that for you, Texan, but what if they both just play poorly and it's a low scoring, ugly game?
Yeah, that's true too. You have to your eggs are all in one basket here. So just saying. Yeah, Brendan, Sherman, Rip, Charlie, Kirk. Yeah. Let's just say today is it's a weird day when it comes to a lot of things going on in our country, right? We don't typically dive into political things on this show very often. We don't typically like to, I mean, we use sports as an escape, right? We do use sports as an escape to kind of, get away from some of the major things that really can be depressing in the world. But in the same instance, we use the show to debate, to have conversations, to, challenge each other in fun ways. And today there was a situation where someone who does it on a different level was tragically lost today. And regardless of what side you're politically attached to, it's not a good day for America today. Scotty, I know you and I talked a little bit about it before the show started. It doesn't feel good. Doesn't feel good to, have this as something that we see in today's America. And I mean, we also had a shooting in our high school down the street too. And it's just not a great day. And we, again, appreciate all of you. We appreciate all of the debates we have. We appreciate and all the things that we maybe disagree on and agree on. There's a lot of things, but it should never resort to things like this. And so, I think it's worth mentioning just off the top that we have a lot to figure out in this country, Scotty.
Yeah, it was a crazy day. Super sad day. I mean, the man, regardless of where you fall, he was 31 years old. He debates. He disagrees with people. He agrees with people. He's got a wife and 2 young kids. And like slain in just a disgusting fashion while he's doing an event at a school in Utah. Yeah, man, it was tough. I told you it took me, I was building out the graphics for tonight's show, and it took me like at least 4 times as long as it usually does, because it was like I build one graphic and then I'm like jumping on X and like figuring out like what's going on with this, what's happening. I mean, I saw the close up, so I didn't have high hopes that he was gonna survive it based off of that clip alone. If you haven't seen it, just don't. See it. It's not.
You don't need to.
Fun. But I saw it, and sure enough, he passed away. So yeah, it was a rough day. And yeah, like you said, we, Evergreen, not far away, there was a high school, or I don't even know if it was a high school. Was it high school?
High school.
It was a school shooting at Evergreen High School, just about 30 minutes from us, and up just in the start of the mountains here in Colorado. So not a good day.
No.
Not a good day. I don't know when it became so divisive in this country and so hateful and so angry and so much bitterness towards the other side and so much angst that like this is where we have to turn to with a guy that's he's just talking. It's unfortunate. And as we'll see what comes from this, because honestly, like I don't know. So, will some people want to retaliate in some fashion? I hope not. Not in the way of that. That doesn't solve anything either. But who knows?
Yeah.
Our country's in a bad spot right now, Chris.
Yeah.
Half the country hates the other half of the country, and it's not good.
The day we can't express opinions about things without having to worry about our actual, just safety. Whenever you can't figure out a way to communicate or debate an opinion without worrying about safety, I think that's a dark place, and that's something that we need to figure out as a country. But either way, it kind of adds into what I say at the end of the show of like, just be a good person, be a good person. And, we always talk about like, living in the moment. Part of that is, loving the people around you, right? Enjoy and put the phone down, enjoy the people and things around you. There's all this toxic nature on the internet. Just enjoy the things that are around you and be a good person, But anyways, that's I think the extent of what we're going to talk about that particular topic. Thank you for bringing it up, though. I know it's a big story in today's landscape. So no, we sometimes we bridge those gaps, and we have some of those conversations off the top. So we love all of you, and we appreciate all of you, and we're glad you're here. So that being said, let's shift gears a little bit. We have a big show tonight. A big show. We have all of the week 2 previews that we're going to be getting into. So we cover all the top games. We're going to go through all those top games. If we don't go over a game, that's okay. Just throw it in the chat. I don't know if you did a Houston graphic, Scotty, but we might have to talk about that one just for, the Houston Tampa Bay, which I think we did. I think we did.
I think I did create that. I did miss one that I actually wanted to talk about because I didn't scroll down enough because I forgot there were 2 Monday night games this week. So I didn't even see it. And then after the fact, I'm like, oh, I didn't make a graphic for Raiders Chargers, but that actually
we could talk about it.
Will be an intriguing game.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. But given we're starting a little late, let's just dive into it. Let's get into it and have a little bit of a conversation first, though. Scotty, we know that you weren't available for the last couple shows, so we wanted to go in and, I mean, I know you kind of caught up on a lot of the games, a lot of the scores, and it's only natural that we dive into, after post week 1, the initial overreaction, underreaction week of everything that we saw out of week 1. And we're going to kind of go through it a little bit. Some takeaways, because we obviously didn't get your takes on a lot of these games. There were some interesting ones. There were some crazy finishes in a couple of them. But either way, there's a handful of teams that we're kind of looking at like, oh man, this season's already over. And then are we overreacting to some of these things? Or they played awful. Are they gonna turn things around? I don't know. So let's dive in. There's a few games that we were kind of talking about on Sunday that I was curious to have your take as well. But I wanted to start with, I mean, I don't think this is an overreaction necessarily, but the Miami Dolphins were the worst looking team of any team, maybe outside of the Giants week 1. And I hate to say it, Scotty, but Miami's in a dark place. Speaking of dark places, Miami's in a dark place. Not only is the coach, Mr. McDaniel, on the hot seat going into this season, but the everything looked toxic on the sidelines. You had Tyreek Hill crashing out on the sidelines. The offense looked awful. The defense looked awful. I don't think we expected the Dolphins to come out a healthy team to look as bad as they did against the Indianapolis Colts. Overreaction or not, Scotty, do you think it's an overreaction to say that the Dolphins are cooked this season?
No, I don't think that's a huge overreaction. This is a team that when things are going well, everything can be okay. But the moment with the personalities and the head coach being a guy that's fun, he's fun. He's a fun press conference guy. He seems like a good time. He wants to be their friend, but like they need an adult in the room.
They need an adult.
We talked about this in our, preview of the Dolphins. Like he's just not an adult. Like they need some discipline, quite frankly. And they're, Tyreek shouting at guys on the sideline and no one seems happy. The defense is aged and slow. The offense should be certainly better than 8 points that they got in, week 1. With the talent you have, a wide receiver and running back, and Tua is not great, but he's serviceable if nothing else. So big week for this week. I think they're actually favored by 1 at home. Last time I checked, against New England this Sunday. Listen, even if they won this game, I don't know their trajectory is going to be postseason, but if they lose this game, then they go to at Buffalo. It's going to go off the rails.
Ooh, It's gonna look.
I mean,
it's gonna
there's
look bad.
listen, Chris, as a Chiefs fan, so much of my feed this week was like, obviously we lost Xavier Worthy. Obviously Rasheed Rice is suspended the first weeks. They're like, all right, when are we trading for Tyreek Hill? And there's been so much talk about it. I don't even think I want that necessarily. But there's been so much chatter about that. Like the Dolphins should just sell everything. And start over. And there's a contender that I don't think that's wrong. They probably should. Will they? I don't know.
I mean, there was a moment in that game. I don't know if you saw. There was a someone on Twitter or X that posted a clip of Tua taking a hit, and I mean he didn't look good the rest of that game. But there was like, did he get another concussion? He did get hit. It snapped his head back a little bit. I don't think it was a concussion, but I mean, man, either way, Dolphins. It's going to be a rough season if you're a Miami Dolphins fan. I don't think that's an overreaction. I think that's just what it is. It feels like there's some behind the scenes locker room issues going. Oh, 100%. And I think the fact that there's not a head coach that is respected there, the stick of being funny in the press conferences runs out real quick when you're not winning games. And I just think that there's nobody in there, to your point, adult in the room, that's going to be able to correct that's currently there right now. So it's only a matter of time. I've already
good adult coaches can hide crazy, and then crazy goes to other coaches, and it comes out a lot.
Yeah,
and by crazy I mean wide receivers, because wide receivers are just inherently crazy.
It's true. Wide receivers, they just have that diva gene, you know.
They just throw me the damn ball, and if I don't get it, I'm gonna whine and bitch and complain.
Tyreek, yeah, there's an alleged investigation for alleged. Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, I don't know. There's no details there, so
it's like who knows if it's a shakedown or not? Who knows?
Right. Nothing was reported at the time of these incidents, so I'm like, how easy is it to prove that this happened?
So they got off the field distractions, they got on the field issues, they got coaching. It's just a mess in Miami. So I don't think that's an overreaction. But let's move on. Let's talk about the Lions a little bit. Lions dropped the game to the Packers 27-13. Jordan Love starts quick in this one and doesn't look back. The Lions look disjointed after they lost their coordinators. They just didn't look the same, top to bottom. Overreaction for the Lions that they are going to struggle this year, and it's not going to look very as promising as it did last year. Obviously, we knew that it was going to take a step back, but how far, Scotty?
No, I still think this is certainly a team capable of making the playoffs. You play a Green Bay team that's, now adding Micah Parsons and like one of the front. I mean, they're also a very good team and one of the front runners in the NFC to represent them in the Super Bowl. You had a bad game. All right. No doubt about that. The offense looked real bad at times, uncomfortable, got pressured, sacked a ton. Offensive line, which has been a staple in Detroit these last couple of years, that no offense to Jared Goff, he needs a good offensive line in front of him to be successful. Didn't look like the offensive line we've seen in the past. And maybe that's some Packers, but also there was just blown assignments, I feel like, from the Lions offensive line with communication and whatnot. That's fixable. I'm not panicking. I mean, the Lions can still be in the mix. It's 1 week. You have 2 new coordinators. You had a bad week. No, I'm not setting the alarms yet on Detroit. But obviously they got to start playing better ball.
Yeah.
Than that.
Yeah, Detroit, they're going to be, I mean, do they need to attack the regular season like they typically do? I mean, probably not. Are they still a good team? Yes. They got the Bears this week. Hopefully it's a get right spot for them. But you got some revenge stuff. We'll talk about that, I think, a little bit later. But either way, I think the Lions, it's a wait and see. I think a lot of times, guys, you're looking at like what, week 3, week 4, and then you kind of really know exactly what these teams are. I mean, outside of Miami, unless you're just, unless they do something drastic early. But yeah. All right. What about Daniel Jones being a top 10 quarterback this season? Overreaction after that. Speaking of Dolphins, that win over the Dolphins, some of us were high on Daniel Jones going into this season as being the guy for the Indianapolis Colts, but it was against the Dolphins. The Colts have the Broncos defense on deck. Is Daniel Jones? Yeah, you better be scared. Better be terrified.
The Broncos were so good this week.
Patrick, where art thou, Patrick?
Patrick was not the issue. I don't know if you watched that game.
Patrick, what's up, Evil? Thank you for the
Patrick's
200 biddies. Thank you, Evil. Oh, miss you, buddy. Yeah, so Daniel Jones. Maybe we'll talk about Patrick here in a little bit. Daniel Jones, you say, is not that guy?
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
Scotty, how do you think Daniel Jones is going to do this season?
Sorry, I just read what Evil said about the Chiefs still got all the calls in that game, and I don't know what the fuck he was looking at. That was a wild comment. Daniel Jones. Great game. It's obviously he got to spend some time with Kevin O'Connell, who I think is a great head coach. Towards the latter part of last year, he goes to Shane Steichen, and he even talked about it, like the detail in Minnesota he saw and how detailed they are with their game plan and like the little things that apparently he just didn't have in New York. Do I think he's a top 10 quarterback in the league this year? No. Not top 10. No shot at top 10. Do I think he can have? I mean, let's keep in mind, what was that? 2-3 years ago, the Giants went like 11-5, well, depending on whether it was 16 or 17 games that year, and made the playoffs and had a really good year. I think he can have a really successful year. Jonathan Taylor's a good running back. They're well coached. I mean, he's such an upgrade over Anthony Richardson. And one of my hot takes this year, Chris, was what? What was one of my hot takes?
Daniel Jones going to take the Colts to a playoff spot.
I said that the Colts would win the AFC South.
Yep.
And after 1 week, it looks pretty damn good. Looks pretty good. I know Jacksonville won, but the Texans lost, and the other teams are relevant. So the Titans aren't good.
Titans aren't. Nope.
So, no, he's not top 10. He had a good week. Let's watch a little bit more. He's obviously got a harder matchup with the Broncos this week. But the good news is it's probably an easier matchup for the Colts defense. Because that Broncos offense is bad.
It's a little rusty coming out the gates. You know what I'm saying? It's a little rusty. They just got to get,
I heard it was rusty all of camp, too. So.
I mean, he's going up against the best defense in the. I would say Tennessee's defense is a little underrated if you're putting that out there.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I would say.
Name 2 guys in the Titans defense.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
All right. Well. All right. So let's continue on. Let's do one or two more of these overreactions, and let's talk about the Chargers and the Chiefs. Scotty. Chargers end up winning this game. Chiefs wide receiving core is kind of a hot mess at the moment. And all of a sudden, all week, I've heard a lot of Charger talk about the Chargers being the team to dethrone the Chiefs after this win, which is, in my opinion, an overreaction. Scotty, are the Chargers, as people are saying, the best team in this division?
I mean, they certainly played the best in week 1. And I don't think that's even debatable. I thought they had a great game plan. It sounds like the Chiefs defense was really caught off guard by what they did. Obviously, week 1 is like, if you want to surprise someone, that's the week to do it, right? Because the Chiefs defense looked like garbage in that game, or either that or the Chargers offense is just incredible. But like, we couldn't get any pressure. We guys were running wide open down the field. It was ugly defensively. Chargers played well. We'll see week to week how that looks. Are they the best team in the league, or in the favorite right now? I wouldn't put them as the favorite, but they certainly look like the best team in week 1 in this division.
Currently, odds for the division are basically even with the Chiefs and the Chargers to win to win the AFC West. Those are the top 2, and they are basically tied. So people are starting to come around on what Justin Herbert did: 318 yards, 3 touchdowns in that first game. By the way, has Justin Herbert always had dark hair? Am I going I was looking at Justin Herbert? I was like, is this one of those?
I didn't notice his hair color, Chris. Is that something you?
I noticed.
You also pay attention to Caleb Williams' nail color?
No, I don't pay attention. I just no, and I'm looking back at the scores, and they have those little stats with his picture, and I always thought he had lighter hair. No, I don't know why. Is this one of those?
He's like a dirty blonde.
What do they call those things that you thought was one thing, but it's actually not? I forget what it's called. In the chat. What chat? What is it?
I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. Obviously, the Chiefs are pretty messed up at the wide receiver spot, like you talked about. 3 of their top 5 wide receivers likely are
Mandela effect
out right now. So that's not ideal for the Chiefs, with the Eagles coming to town, and a ruling that's never been done in the NFL in the history of the league, that they counteracted a suspension that was good because he didn't play last week. I would have really liked Jalen Carter not to play again this week, but we'll get into that later.
That'll be a whole nother thing.
That's me just scared.
The Chiefs start out in a tough spot here, especially after losing week 1 and a quick turnaround here with the Eagles in week 2. So, all right. Any other things that pop out? Overreaction, underreaction? The Bengals Browns game, 1-point game. Bengals didn't look particularly good. Let's see. Jaguars looked good against the Panthers. We were high on the Jags.
I mean, there's probably an overreaction that both Aaron Rodgers and Justin Fields are going to be good quarterbacks this year. That's probably an overreaction.
That's probably an overreaction. Aaron Rodgers, 4 touchdown passes in his debut. That's
never will happen again this season. He will not throw another game with 4 TD passes. Mark that down right now.
Mark it. Clip it. Throw it somewhere. Make sure you guys know. Ravens choking. Says Orioles.
They're pretty good at that. Yeah. I mean, I told you, Chris, I come away from that game, although I had to check highlights, but I was tired. I still think the Ravens are the better team, and if they faced off against each other, and I know they lost in the playoffs last year too, but I think Ravens win 7 out of 10 against Buffalo. How do you not come away from that game thinking the Ravens aren't the better team?
No,
they don't have the better quarterback, but they definitely have the better team, and their quarterback's also pretty good. So I just think the Ravens are still the better team there, but clutch performance from Bills.
Agreed. I think the Ravens are the better team. But the Josh Allen's the best quarterback in that matchup for sure. If you're putting that down on paper, so that's going to get you somewhere. Did you guys make MVP predictions this year? I don't think we got them in. I don't think we got them in on a previous show. So that was the one thing we didn't do. As far as our predictions go, we kind of missed the boat on that.
By week 8.
I mean, right now, if you're looking at anybody,
Danny Dimes right now.
Danny Dimes. Where is Danny Dimes on the list right now? If we were to say,
it's Josh Allen right now.
It is Josh Allen, but Daniel Jones, you're getting value at plus 12,500. You're getting you're getting some value there.
Yeah. Hauser, if Derrick Henry doesn't fumble the ball, the Ravens probably win. Not to mention, even I don't know if it was before or after the fumble, the like fourth down play where it was a tipped ball that just happened to fall into Keon Coleman's lap in the end zone. Like, if that doesn't happen, I mean, there were so many things that had to go Buffalo's way to come back in that fourth quarter, but they did.
I mean, Buffalo's defense stepped up when it mattered, and then also, I mean, you can't really put it all on. You can't really put it all on Derrick Henry in the sense that, like, he also contributed to them getting into that position in the first place.
I think he was the leading rusher in week 1 of all of football.
So, I mean, he's gonna make a mistake. He's human.
They got too conservative with the ball in the fourth quarter.
Correct. I agree. But either way,
Should have just kept. I mean, they had 40 points with, like, more than 10 minutes certainly in the fourth quarter left. Why stop what you're doing offensively? Just keep doing it.
just keep going. What are we doing? So a game of the week last week. I if we get a rematch in the playoffs, that would be amazing.
Playoffs?
Yeah.
And the winner can meet my Chiefs again.
If the wide receivers can make it to the playoffs healthy.
Hey. One of them's very healthy, Chris. He's
he's just
suspended. But if he was an Eagle, his suspension would have been fulfilled last year when he was hurt. Because apparently that's what we do now.
Apparently there's different standards for different.
Maybe. Anyone who thinks the league or refs are in the Chiefs' pocket hasn't been paying attention at all. At all.
Yeah. So crazy. All right. So there you go. Also, Evil says, like the ladies say, crank it till it sprays. Or also, like the ladies say,
You gotta give him that huck to and spit on that thing. You get me?
yeah, they all say that.
I've never heard a lady say crank it till it sprays. Do they say that?
I haven't had anyone tell me that.
I understand the meaning behind it, but I've never heard a female say that before.
The crank it part is what gets me confused.
Yeah, it's like it's like a Jack in a Box. Or
Yeah.
those are, just crank it until it.
Yeah.
I can feel it all the way down in my plum.
Yeah, I don't know. If very special ladies do. Very special. Okay. I guess that makes
Thank goodness. Chairman was going to get upset if you said handicap, but very special is okay.
special ladies say crank it till it sprays. There you go. All right. Let's get what do you say we get to week 2? Let's talk week 2.
Also, sorry, Diacola.
Also yeah, that's a little awkward. That's a little awkward. Let's get to week 2. And then we're also going to get our best bets in as well. We'll recap the best bets. And we also actually got to go, and we didn't recap how our contest did. I don't know where we're at with contest. So maybe we could go into our contest board and see where we're at with our Pick'em, our Survivor, and our Super contest. So we'll do that.
The only thing I know is I'm tied for first in Survivor. That's all I know.
I think a lot of us are tied for first in Survivor, but that's, hey, you know what? By the way, if you guys want in on anything, you can't join Survivor, so don't worry about it. But you can also still join the Pick'em, and you won't win a prize if you're so the Pick'em. If you want to do the Pick'em,
I obviously joined the Pick'em late again this year, Chris. Missed a couple games, no big deal.
You missed a couple in the Pick'em. You missed the first two,
I missed the first two.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
and then you
would have picked the Chiefs anyway.
I would have gone 1-1. I would have picked the Eagles and Chiefs. Yeah, I would have gone 1-1. Still another win. Still another dub there. But I also was at the airport, hadn't joined our super contest yet, and we were boarding in 10 minutes. I'm like, oh crap. And I haven't looked since. I don't remember who I picked, Chris.
Well, we'll find out later in the show. It will be fascinating to me. I don't know how I did,
I don't remember who I picked.
Either way, it'll be a surprise for you. We'll recap all of those towards the end of the show. There is a pick'em, Sergeant. If you want to go into the pick'em, those are the links in the chat. I don't do sports betting just out of personal preference. Okay, all right.
I couldn't in Washington, so that was fun.
Yeah. Is Brazil a bad place to play football? I think it's a neutral place to play football. I don't
know how much they care about football there.
Yeah.
But usually when you go international, it's like, how's the field, right? Like, are the field conditions, which I think they were fine. So I don't think it's ideal for a team to have to travel week 1 to an international game, but the team who did it last year won the Super Bowl, so you can't complain that hard.
Yeah,
the Eagles beat the Packers week 1 in Brazil, so I guess the Chargers are winning the Super Bowl this year, Chris.
I guess so. The Chargers, it's happening. Chargers taking it. All right, well, let's here we go. It's time to get into the week 2 preview of the NFL, followed by we'll be doing all of our best bets. We'll recap our best bets at the end of this segment so that you guys know exactly where our leans are or our best bets are. And let's break these down. Let's start out with the Falcons and the Vikings here in this first game. And Falcons on the road in Minnesota. The total is 44.5. Actually, it's 44.5 currently as it sits right now. Let me make sure none of the other lines have changed. The 3.5 spread in favor of the Minnesota Vikings. This line has moved a lot, by the way. This opened up at, I think, 5.5, dropped to 4.5, and then now it's 3.5. So it's been moving quite a bit one direction. And so now we're sitting at 3.5 in favor of the Minnesota Vikings as the favorite. The minus 186 is the money line for the Minnesota Vikings to win the game straight up. The Falcons plus 156, and 44.5 is the total in this one. Scotty, what are your thoughts on the Falcons and the Vikings?
Yeah, starting with ATL Lab.
ATL.
Atlanta, I thought, played pretty solid in week 1. Big, divisional matchup at home against Tampa that could have gone either way. Obviously, they missed a game-tying field goal. Buku. I mean, stop running directly behind the football when you kick the football. Figure it out, man. Or cut him. By the way, speaking of kickers that miss field goals, true story, Chris. I got an email yesterday morning that our jersey was being delivered that day to Piglet. It was being delivered yesterday, and later, so I sent her a message.
I saw this.
Hey, I got an email. Your jersey's coming today. She's like, cool,
man.
And then later in the day, Moody got cut by the 49ers. On the same day, her 49ers Moody jersey comes. He is no longer a 49er. I feel so bad. I know that's off topic, but I sent her a message. I'm like, I'm so sorry. She's like, it happens. I'm like, I know, but like, bad timing. Too soon.
I mean,
hope it's a nice jersey though.
Yeah, she got it, and she got to enjoy it for less than.
Well, actually, I think she's out of town, so someone was house sitting and grabbed it, I think.
Oh,
so she hasn't even seen it yet.
Oh,
she hasn't even touched the jersey. I think only because last week she told me she was out of town this week. So anyway, Falcons. I thought, I mean, that was a game that could have gone either way. Obviously, they gave up a big touchdown late to Baker and Emeka Egbuka. Who had a nice debut, but I thought Atlanta kind of played to what I thought that was going to be. That was going to be a tight game that could have gone either way, and they kind of played up to my expectations. They're not great. They're fine. Vikings for 3 quarters on Monday night looked like a dumpster fire.
They did.
And then all of a sudden the fourth quarter came, and credit to JJ McCarthy and credit to the team. they woke up, got back in the game, and then all of a sudden took handle of the game and got a dub. So I think this game's going to be close. I think what Minnesota team are we going to see? Are we going to see the 3-quarter team or are we going to see the 4th-quarter team? I think the reality is maybe somewhere in the middle, but I think Atlanta is a pretty solid team. I think Minnesota and JJ McCarthy are still trying to figure things out a little bit. I mean, obviously he had an awful pick 6 in that Monday night game. So my lean here would be Atlanta plus 3.5, but I'm also ATL up, so I'm biased.
So I saw this line at 5.5. I saw it dip down to 4.5. And I was like, I still lean Atlanta 4.5 in this one. And then I was like, okay, it's borderline one of my best bets. Didn't lock it in. And then I saw it drop to 3.5. And I was like, I missed the spot. So I agree. I think this is a Falcons team that could potentially keep things close in this game. I think it's going to be a close game. And I just think the number has swung too much. Like now I'm almost kind of thinking the spread at 3.5, you almost start seeing the value towards the Vikings at this point. But I still don't feel as confident as I did unless if it was a 4.5 or 5.5. So public in the money.
Minnesota was just so bad offensively for 3 quarters.
Correct.
That them being a 3.5 point favorite, even at home against the Falcons team that's not great but decent, feels aggressive.
It does. And I think that this one, the public, 78% of the money on the spread is on the Vikings, which tells you everything you need to know. The money, the big money, or just in general, split down the middle, 50-50 basically in this game. So I would lean Atlanta in this one. Atlanta's beat up at wide receiver. Drake London, he's kind of iffy. He might play. I don't know if they've said anything about if he's playing. I think he's questionable right now. Darnell Mooney is also banged up. Even if he plays, he's not going to be 100%. You have Brian Flores defense in the dome. I think against the opposing team, I feel like he has a really good chance to slow down Atlanta scoring. And I think JJ McCarthy is going to have some struggles in his second game here too, why I think it could be close. But that's the reason why I like the under 45. I ended up getting it 45.5. I think that this game could be a little bit more low scoring given the fact that the Atlanta Falcons wide receivers are banged up, given the fact that JJ McCarthy for 3 quarters in the last game looked awful. And I don't know what he's going to necessarily do this week. I just think that there's going to be some trouble scoring in this game. So if I'm going to take anything, my best bet in this game is under 45.5. I would play it even down right now at 44.5. Maybe even 43, but that's cutting it a little close. So I like the under in this one. I do think Michael Penix, again with some of the issues at injuries and things like that, will maybe have to do a little more, and I don't know how that's going to work out for him. So, we're going to go under in that one as well.
Average Texan, are we forgetting Bijan? If the Vikings can't stop him, he's going to go insane all the game. He had a big game week 1. They still lost. Honestly, Minnesota's defense. A lot of people made fun of because they signed some vets in the interior defensive line. With oh my gosh, Allen and Hargrave, I believe, and they repped in week 1 and played pretty well. Like obviously against the Chicago rushing attack that's no one is expecting to be great, but still, Bijan's great. I'm on the Atlanta side. Chris's leans maybe Vikings, and then definitely is taking the under. So at 45, you said 45.5?
45.5 is what I got it at.
I like that a lot more than 44.5. Like a 24-21 game is what this feels like.
Yeah. Yep, I got it at 45.5. So, yeah, I think the defenses, the between the two offenses, and then Minnesota's defense is stout. I think that they'll be able to kind of slow down this Atlanta offense a little bit to the point where they're going to have some 3-and-outs. They're going to have some struggles. And there's going to be a lot of running the football in this game. Bijan, like you said, is going to run the football. They're going to try to get the ground game going. That's going to slow down the game a little bit too.
Who's the better QB in this game, you think? Who has the better day?
Penix.
Both second-year guys, Penix or McCarthy?
I think Penix has the better game. I think Penix... If London practice, which Hauser says London practice, so should play.
I mean, if he practiced today, he's playing.
Yeah. So I think Penix has a little bit more under his belt. So I would say Penix, but I don't think it's going to be a big discrepancy. I don't think I don't think Penix is going to go crazy and McCarthy's just going to absolutely be awful. I think they're going to both have probably average games at best. McCarthy sucks, says Diacola. She's not a big McCarthy fan, I guess.
Just a lot of vitriol towards McCarthy.
He sucks.
After one start in the league, we already know he's terrible.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Yeah, I guess. Okay. All right. Well, let's move on to the next game. And we have on deck, we have the Jets and the Bills. So the Jets hosting the Bills in this one, spread 6.5. Now, just like the last game, this has also moved quite a bit in one direction towards one side. So Buffalo Bills minus 6.5 in this game. So favorites on the road after that crazy finish against Baltimore, coming back late, winning that game in dramatic fashion. They are favorites on the road. So Jets coming off a heartbreaking loss to the Steelers, where I thought they didn't look awful. I mean, I think Justin Fields had some flashes in that game, and the Steelers defense kind of let him kind of run all over the place. But the Jets plus 240 on the money line, the Bills plus 295 or minus 295 on the money line. Over under set at 46.5 in New York. Scotty, do the Jets keep this one close? This started around like 8.5. It quickly went down to 7.5 to 7, and now 6.5, where you could ideally, if you really wanted to, tease the Buffalo Bills down to basically a pick 'em. But something about this Jets defense and the fact that Justin Fields can run around and keep things keep the Bills defense on its toes. A Bills defense that gave up quite a bit of points to kind of a similar offense where the running quarterback, the running back, the way they're I won't put them on the Ravens, level, but similar in style. Do the Jets keep this one close?
I think they could. But I have a little bit of an unpredictable factor in this one. Like, I don't know after 1 week if I actually believe in Justin Fields. He played pretty well last week against the Steelers defense that's supposed to be good, but also pretty old. So, like, we got to figure out if the Steelers defense has just reached that age where they're not good anymore, and they signed like 2 aging corners or traded and signed. But credit to Justin Fields. He looked good in week 1. Breece Hall looked good in week 1. There were a lot of question marks about him and Braylon Allen at running back and who would get more carries. Breece Hall looked way better, way more effective than Braylon Allen, and should get touches moving forward. Bills wise, I mean, Bills are a flawed roster. That defense is not very good.
No.
The addition of Bosa didn't look good in week 1. I don't know if Bosa is going to be the factor they were hoping to be. He just looks slow and run down a little bit. Obviously, he got burnt on a couple of, read options where Lamar kept the ball and he found himself where he thought he was in position, but then Lamar just cooked him to the outside. That could happen again against Justin Fields. The Bills definitely should win this game. I mean, the Jets, do what they do and they lose in heartbreaking fashion or whatever it is. And the Jets defense, the Vonda Jets defense that you just talked about, gave up 4 touchdown passes to Aaron Rodgers. So, I mean, Josh Allen should have a field day against this defense if they play like they did in Week 1. So I don't have a great feel. I wouldn't take either side. I don't have a lean really. Bills should win the game, obviously, but could the Jets keep it close? Yes. Could the Jets lose by 20? Yes.
Yeah. I'm erring on the side of the Jets are going to keep this close in the sense that I to your point, the Bills defense is flawed. And Justin Fields has proven, at least against, a Pittsburgh defense that was supposed to be one of the top in the NFL. I don't know what happened back there in Week 1 against this Jets team, but they did not slow down Justin Fields in this offense. So the fact that the Bills defense I know is flawed, the fact that I know Breece Hall looks almost as good as he did when he was before that injury that he had, he was looking electric. He's kind of feels like he's getting back to that mojo that he had before he got injured. And if that's the case, and they can stretch the ball, Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall is his normal self, I think this game could be a little bit closer than, maybe it's a backdoor cover. Maybe it's one of those situations where the Jets end up finding a way to close the gap at the end of this game. The Bills on the road after a crazy Super Bowl-esque kind of vibe in that first week used a lot of their energy, and I get it. They're one of the best teams in the AFC. But, that's an emotional high that they're coming off of going on the road against a team that I think might keep it a little closer. So I'm going one of my other best bets. I did get the 7. I put it in with you earlier on the week, Scotty. I got the 7. So if they lose by 7, it's a push. The Jets plus 7 in this game is one of my best bets of the week. So there we go. We got some in the chat. Let's see. Black Market. Who are the 2 best Survivor picks for week 2? So I know a lot of people are kind of going with some of the easier picks, i.e. the Baltimore Ravens and the Buffalo Bills. Those are kind of no-brainers. Cardinals, if you didn't use them in week 1 against the Saints, you could pretty much pick anyone against the Saints, I feel like. Cardinals are another popular streamer if you haven't picked the Cardinals quite yet. I feel like a lot of people Lions and Packers are also a couple other teams that I've seen some people get some love. Lions don't want to go 0-2. Packers
against the Commanders? I wouldn't love. I think the Packers should win that game. I wouldn't.
That should be.
I don't know why you'd pick the Packers against the Commanders.
It's probably not as juicy of a matchup as some of the ones that I mentioned already. But I know that I'm looking at some stats here. Survivor picks according to CBS Sports Line. Packers are 70. Let's see. A lot of people jumping on the Pack. A lot of population jumping on the Packers as well. So. I wouldn't jump on it in this spot. I don't
understand that at all.
I wouldn't jump on it in this spot. Not me personally. But Cardinals at home against the Carolina Panthers feels like.
Feels good.
Feels good. So
San Fran, yeah, that's who's playing the Saints this week is the 49ers. But
the issue with that is they're banged up.
Purdy's out and out likely a couple weeks at least. Any thoughts on Denver versus Indy? We're gonna get to that game.
We'll get to it.
Indy by a million.
What's up, Skilla? Yeah. Purdy is a long shot. No, he's not playing. By the way, that San Francisco, I don't know if we're talking about that game today, but San Francisco 3-point favorites on the road against New Orleans. New Orleans defense got some pressure. They played those veterans on defense played okay in week 1. I would say they played better than expected. But the problem is the Saints offense. That's the problem. So that's where I would be kind of a little hesitant against Normally, I'd be like anybody who's playing the Saints, but might not want to go that route this week against a San Francisco team that's banged up. So take that with what you will. Joe, what's up? I stay away from Bills and Ravens in case of a letdown. Yeah, it's Bills. The Bills should win. They are the better team. Again, to my point, I think the Jets will keep it closer than it's a division game. The Jets are home. They lost week 1. They don't want to go 0-2. Buffalo Bills coming off a high emotional win. Bills should be safe, but I think you're going to sweat that one a little bit more than you would like the Ravens. The Ravens are 11.5-point favorites against Cleveland, minus 750 on the money line. I mean, it's a sure bet, but the Ravens are going to win a lot of games. You want to save the Ravens for another week, probably. You want to probably prioritize some games that might be more fitting for this week. I mean, who knows how many games the Cardinals are going to win in the grand scheme of things. They're going to be in a lot of close ones. Might as well take the Cardinals against the Panthers at home, knowing that they are the better team. So that was kind of my advice on that. They did struggle a lot in that game, JT, but I think, those veterans on the Saints defense played out of their minds. I don't know if the Carolina Panthers have that kind of it's a whole different level there. I think the Carolina Panthers are one of the worst rosters in the NFL. So Rams, Cards, Ravens, Cards, I'm thinking. Yeah. I mean Cardinals, there's a safe one. If you wanted to take the Ravens just to play it safe, you could. I mean, that's fine. I would probably try to save them for later, but that's just me. I try to overthink things, though. I try to be more strategic with mine, but I get it. I think Lions at home could be a decent option as well. The Bears, they kind of look like a mess. And the Lions, I don't anticipate staying where they're at after that first game. They have a lot to work on. I think the Lions at home do have a good chance too. So that's an interesting one. Can Bryce Young play any worse? I didn't think so. After that game, I don't know. We'll have to see what happens in week 2. So that's the thing, that Bryce Young, after coming off the high of last year, everyone's kind of high on him. To play that way in the opening game, it was little surprising. I thought he was going to carry that over, and didn't look great. All right, Broncos and Colts. We'll set the stage here for Broncos Colts while Scotty's on his way back from taking care of business over at his house. All right, so Broncos Colts. Let me pull up the latest odds, because right now this line has moved a little bit from when it opened up at. Let me find this game. So we have on our graphic here Denver minus 1.5 and the total at 43.5. Those numbers have changed a little bit. And then also Denver minus 130 and Indy plus 110. Currently, the line is sitting at Denver Broncos minus 2.5 in this game. So 2.5-point favorites on the road in Indy, minus 124 on the money line, and the over-under is now 42.5, which indicates to me that this swung a little too far. A lot of money probably came in on the Colts initially, which got this down to 1.5, and then all of a sudden, people started hammering Denver at minus 2.5. That's kind of how this tail of the tape is looking so far when it comes to the betting. Let's look at the money coming in on this game. because that'll also tell you a little bit as well in where people are at. Public, 63% of the public and 80% of the money are on Broncos -1.5. So that's actually pretty interesting too. Either way, I do like Denver in this game. I think that they're going to win this game. Broncos offense they didn't look good in week 1 against the Titans defense. Now, Denver defense on the other side looks as good, if not better. The big concern I had about Denver's defense coming into the season was it was going to be overhyped. They're overhyping all of the additions that they added on in the secondary, all of the players they brought back, and it was just one of those things where you get overhyped and you get less than what you expect. So I think Indy's offense took a step back last week against the Broncos, will take a step back against the Broncos this week. But the biggest question I had, more so than the Denver Broncos offense, was going into week 1 is the Denver Broncos defense going to look as good as advertised? Because obviously everyone was hyped. It's like you see a movie, when everyone talks up a movie and they're like, this is the best movie, you have to go see it, and you see it and it's like, yeah, it was good. That's what I was feeling about this defense. Well, again, they played against a Tennessee offense with a rookie quarterback on the road in Denver at altitude. I get it. But that still doesn't change the fact that they just absolutely dominated that game from a defensive standpoint, and they have all the tools they need to slow down opposing offenses. Now, that being said, the offense does need to take a step up. This line started at -3.5 on the look ahead, and then the Colts won big, and then that changed everything. Daniel Jones will have a tougher defense to look forward to than he did against a dysfunctional and just awful Miami defense. It's going to be like night and day. I think Denver's offensive line will play better. I expect Bo Nix and company to do a little more. I think the thing that really perplexed me was the running game didn't get going until later in that game. I think they threw the ball 22 times to 9 rushes in the first half of that game, which was kind of, given the fact that they, try to emphasize running the football with Sean Payton and that style of offense. They didn't run the ball until the end of the game and then found some success. I think that will help in this game if they can establish that early. So I do think the Broncos will win this game. I'm not messing around with the point spread by any means. If I did have a lean, and Scotty, this is 2.5 now, 2.5 point spread in FanDuel Sportsbook. So has shifted a little bit back to Denver being a 2.5 point favorite. But do I think the Broncos have enough to get a win in week 2 against this Colts team? I do. So I will pick the Broncos to win, but no best bet in this one. I think the Denver Broncos defense keeps this in. I think the offense improves.
I just want to make sure I heard this correctly. You were like, I want to make sure I see that this vaunted Denver defense from last year is still really good this year. And you use the evidence from the worst team in football last year, starting a rookie quarterback, as the evidence that, yeah, it's there. It's it. That's all we need. I'm convinced. I mean, yeah. I think the Denver defense is going to be good. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. But using week 1 is like insane. Insane. It's
well, here's the thing. I mean, there's a lot of teams out there that bleed a lot of yards to bad offenses.
The worst team in the NFL defensively last week. How many points did the Titans score against them? It's not more than double what you gave up. It's not more than 24. Against the worst defense in the NFL.
I mean, even bad offenses can put up more than 130 plus yards in a game. Even bad offenses will not have -2 net yards and a half. Like even good defenses give up more than that, right? To bad offenses. Like that's like
I would just say let's daddy chill.
So-
Daddy chill. The defense is gonna be good,
Daddy,
but
chill.
just I would chill on like using last week as a reference point almost at all. Moving forward for the Broncos defensively. I'd be more concerned about offensively because, again, you played the worst team in football last year that doesn't have a good defense, and you couldn't do anything offensively. Now, that being said, I expect the Broncos throughout the season, Bo will get a little more comfortable. Bo, by the way, Bo was like a little weirdly fiery. I don't know if it was the booing he was getting from the crowd that made him that way, but like calling out his players and yelling at his players a little bit at times.
It was
And
a different
when you're in your
vibe.
second year, like game 1 of your second year, again, daddy chill.
Daddy, chill.
But yeah, obviously the defense looked good. I think we all knew the defense was going to look good against the Titans in week 1. And I don't know. I mean, before the season, we thought the Colts were going to be a bye week as well. Now the Colts look obviously better than we thought in week 1. This is a Colts team that should have beat Denver with Anthony Richardson last year. They were going to take control of that game, and then Jonathan Taylor on a 60-yard run dropped the ball
Before
in
the
front of
end zone.
and it changed everything in the game, and then Denver came back and won. Now, I'm not saying Denver on paper should be the better team and should win this game. They certainly didn't play better in week 1. Indy played better in week 1 than Denver.
Oh yeah.
So,
Well, again, if you're gonna put if you're gonna put Denver against a bad team, you got to put Indy against the bad team.
Miami went 8-9 last year. I don't remember Tennessee doing that.
But that's
That was with Tua missing half the season.
But that's last year. Miami this season.
You're going off of week 1. Their only opponent was the Colts. We don't know for sure that Miami's bad.
Well, we don't
think Miami might be bad, but we don't know for sure.
I mean, that dysfunctional.
We know for sure. We know for sure Tennessee's going to be terrible this year. We know that for sure.
I'm pretty sure we know Miami's going to be a rough team until things change over there, right? I mean,
But you're basing that off week 1. I don't think you said that before the season.
well, we're basing this. I mean, we're basing
You're
everything
basing
off week 1. Everything's off week 1.
Well, so you're overreacting. I don't think Miami's going to be great and make the playoffs, but I don't know if they're better than Tennessee. They would beat Tennessee tomorrow in a neutral site, guaranteed.
Probably. I mean, I think it would be a closer game than people would think.
It might be close, but Miami would win that football game.
Medic.
So, yeah, go ahead.
Hey guys, sorry to be late. Have fantasy question about the 49ers. Not sure if you guys have covered that or not. We talked a little bit about the 49ers. We'll let Scott finish his thought, and we'll talk about the 49ers here in a sec.
No, I already forgot my thought, so let's go.
Well, first of all, how about your thoughts on this game? So generally, you think the Broncos are a better team, but this is going to be. You wouldn't be shocked if they lost this game.
Not at all.
Okay. Yeah. So, what's your question?
Why would we be shocked on a now you say a 2.5 point spread? Nothing shocking in a 2.5 point spread.
No, I mean I think the Broncos do get away with a win in this one. The biggest thing is what are we going to get from Daniel Jones against a more stout defense?
Is that the biggest question, or is it what we're going to get from Bo Nix?
I honestly,
Bo Nix was arguably one of the worst quarterbacks in the league, or last week.
Yeah,
One of the worst quarterbacks to start. He was really bad.
He wasn't
really
he wasn't good, but I also do think that
he was bad.
Well, here's the thing. I think the game plan was off going into that game in the first place. I mean, to have him come out and throw 22 times in the first half, that's who.
Now let's keep in mind you mentioned the running game for Denver, which you take away 2 runs, the running game was a disaster. But they did have a huge 50-yard run.
They committed to it in this. They committed.
No.
They committed.
No.
Let me finish.
I will. Before you say something that you're wrong about, Chris, let me correct you. They had one drive in the second half where they had the 50-yarder RJ Harvey, and then they had the 20-yard run by Dobbins for the touchdown. They continued to run the ball after that, and it was garbage again. So, no, it wasn't about committing. It was one drive. They had 2 huge runs. Beyond that, it was bad. Even after that, it was bad.
But they
wasn't committing.
But if
they were committing to the run because the other team couldn't score.
But then if you commit to it, if you're actually gonna get some yardage and actually give it a go, then you're gonna actually put together some.
But the reason they were able to commit to it because they knew the other team couldn't score because the other team's offense was garbage.
Well, because the defense was good enough to stop them. Yeah.
A garbage offense.
So,
a good defense versus a garbage offense. Yes.
So I would argue that
then you can run the ball.
So I would argue that if you're able to establish more of a run, which I think is what they're going to try to do in the early parts of this game, you're not going to see a lot of Bo Nix slinging it around as frequently as he did in week 1.
It'll be the same point total then.
You know, it'll be. I mean, so maybe take the under in the first half. Take the under in the first half.
I don't think the Broncos' run game is going to be great this year. I think it might be okay, but it's not going to be good.
It's going to be better than it has been in recent years because it has been non-existent in recent years. It hasn't even existed in recent years. So anything is welcomed. If RJ Harvey's that guy, hey, Chuck. What's going on, Chuck?
Go.
Welcome in.
Can I call you Chuckles?
What's up, Chuck? Who's your team and where you're from? Like to get to know you a little bit. Welcome in. All right, let's move on to the next game though. We have some stuff in the chat here. Danny Dime's going 2-0. Medic, I'm wondering if it would be wise to start Jake Tongs now that Purdy is going to be missing some time, or should I go with Fannin Jr. over in Cleveland for my tight end spot? I had Kittle, but we all know how that went. I'm telling you, Kittle is... I will never draft Kittle in fantasy football, ever. Kittle's always kind of that guy that... He's like my Kyle Pitts. Every time I draft Kittle in my fantasy league, he shits the bed or he gets hurt, and I never end up getting anything out of him. And I always take him at a decent... I mean, I try to get value, and he never shows the value. Just my little rant on Kittle.
Your question, though, Medic, is yikes. I don't think we can give you good advice.
Yeah.
Those are two...
Bruh.
There's no one on the waiver wire that's better than either of those?
There's got to be a good matchup on the waiver wire.
I would probably take Fannin Jr., but man, that's rough. I don't even... Yikes. There's got to be somebody better. There's got to be somebody better on the waiver wire.
He says no. He says not in the league I'm in. That's tough. Here's the thing. I mean, tight ends are kind of hit and miss anyway, outside of like the top 2 or 3 guys. Then it's kind of you're just getting everything kind of averages out across the league, like 6 points here, 7 points there. Maybe you get a couple double-digit tight ends, but I mean, yeah, that's tough. You either way, regardless of who you have, they're not going to be putting up enough there to where it might. You're relying on your other dudes on your roster to really make up for that. 8 bench spots, 2 IR spots, plus the regular spots with 14-team league. Okay. Chuck, all depends on the way Mac Jones and Tongues work out, right? Yeah, but it's still not a great situation to be in. It's still kind of rough.
I don't know. Does everyone carry 3 tight ends on their team? How many teams are in this league? I'm so confused.
All right. Well, while we're getting some of those questions answered in the chat, we have Jags and Bengals up next as we're going to preview a couple teams that got wins week 1. One of them was a little more impressive than the other, but right now, currently sitting the Bengals, 3.5-point favorites at home against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Bengals minus 180 on the money line as it sits right now. Jags plus 152. Over under set at now it's went up from our from when you made this, Scotty. It's up to 49.5 is the over under total for this game. And we both have strong opinions about this one. And this is both one of our best bets of the week.
Yeah. Listen, the Bengals got some fortuitous bounces, both off wide receiver hands that ended up in picks that saved Cincinnati. We all know Cincinnati's notorious for obviously not starting well. But they haven't had like Burrow healthy usually in training camp. I knew the defense would be bad this year, so it's like the offense will be ready, firing in all cylinders. Jamar Chase is paid. Joe Burrow's paid. T. Higgins is paid. Everybody's paid. Chris, these were the drives in the second half against the Cleveland Browns for the Cincinnati offense. 3 plays, 8 yards, punt. 7 plays, 17 yards, field goal. Only got a field goal because of an interception. 3 plays, 1 yard. 3 plays, negative 18 yards. 3 plays, 4 yards. 3 plays, negative 10 yards.
Who's the quarterback in Cincinnati?
That was the second half for Cincinnati's offense against the Browns. And mind you, they were only up 4 at half and somehow escaped with a win. I don't know how. Jaguars obviously beat up on a Carolina team that didn't look prepared. That one is also weird because they had like a weather delay for a long time, so it got broken up. But they were dominating before and kind of continued that afterwards. So I think the Jaguars might be pretty decent. I just don't believe in the Bengals right now. I can't, after what I watched in week 1 and what we know of the Bengals early on in the season, I can't believe in them. I mean, Cleveland might have a bottom 5 offense, should have a bottom. I mean, Joe Flacco and who? And Joe Flacco is, by the way, 90 years old. Like, the Cleveland offense is bad.
Yeah.
And they were moving the ball, and without some turnovers and a missed field goal, would have won that game. So this is somewhat about Jacksonville and how I think they might be better than people expect this year, but a lot of it is just Cincy looking so bad again in week 1, and they don't learn their lesson, and I think they're going to fall flat here. I don't think it should be more than 3, honestly.
Yeah. I'm on Jags plus 3.5 all the way. All the way in this game. Bengals, by the way, when we talked about this, Bengals, what was their superpower coming into the season? What were we talking about?
I believe their offense.
Their offense was their superpower because we knew the defense was going to be awful. So if their defense is going to be awful, they're going to have to outrace teams, and they're just going to have to outscore teams. The Bengals ranked 31st out of 32 teams in week 1 in yards per play, and yet they were favored by more than a field goal in this game. How does that make sense? Against the team that ran the ball 200 yards last week. Like, I just don't, the math doesn't seem to math.
Chris, I just did the math, but speaking of math, on the Bengals total yards in the second half, and I think, and I might be mistaken, it was 2. They had 2 yards of offense in the second half.
They had
the Browns.
They had 4 more yards than the Tennessee Titans did in the second half of that game. Like, that's how bad the Bengals have been, or in that they were week 1. We say they start out slow in week 1. Is this year any different? They're still starting out slow.
Incredibly lucky. And listen, I think the back half of this year, the Bengals will be good, but like they can't figure it out early on. They can't. Yeah.
Bengals look ahead from the summer was minus 6.5 for this game. Clearly, there's been an adjustment. I think, honestly, getting off the 0-1 kind of slow start to the season, which they barely did in week 1, I feel like they're going to have kind of that exhale, right? Finally got that week 1 win. Just in time to get a week 2 loss to the and maybe they do win. Maybe it's close. But there's a potential for the Jags to win this outright. I do prefer plus 3.5 in this game. I just think that there's something wrong with a team that you're paying all these guys on offense. Joe Burrow's supposed to be one of the best quarterbacks in the AFC. I get it. There's week 1 issues with a lot of teams in a lot of different ways, but Cincinnati cannot figure out early season situations in these games. So
Rep for us, Jags. Let's go.
Captain Urban taking more notes. I won't forget. He's logging all the notes.
I mean, my notes were actual real live stats. What would you like to hear otherwise? You can just find those. You don't have to log those. You can find them online.
Captain, be honest. How did the offense look in that week 1? Like, I mean, it wasn't ideal, right?
Captain, you know damn well. Everyone's like, well, we got to win. And I'm like, fine. But, like, you know damn well they didn't play good football. At all. And they were way more lucky than Denver. Denver was still the better team, even though their offense didn't play well against Tennessee. But they were the better team that game. Cleveland was the better team against the Bengals. Cleveland was the better side. And they lost due to some fluky turnovers and a missed field goal.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Cincinnati is just they'll ramp up. Don't worry, Captain. I still have them as a playoff team. I still have them as a wild card team. But sure, they're winning game that they might not normally win in the beginning of the season, so that's fine. Still, it's still the same MO though. Starting slow to start the season. All right, so both of us best bet Jags. Plus
total yards in that game were Cleveland 327, Cincinnati 141. It was a dominating performance by Cleveland.
Yeah,
and they lost.
So we'll see what ends up happening against the Jags. Trevor Lawrence bringing Jacksonville up to Cincinnati. What airport are they going to fly in? I forget.
Well, Kentucky.
Oh,
it's in Kentucky, right?
That makes sense. That makes sense.
When you go to Cincinnati, you got to fly to Kentucky.
just throwing that out there. Real Imaginary.
Bengals money line all the way.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't shock me if the Bengals won this game. Real Imaginary, who's your team and where are you from? Like to get to know you a little bit better. Welcome into the Action Lab. Appreciate you being here. Guys, in case you missed it, we are live every Sunday as well for Sunday Night Football. We are doing a live watch along for this weekend's game. If you guys are fans of the teams that are playing, we want to make sure we get you in as our fans to join us on the show. We can get you all situated and get you all the things you need to get and join us on the show. So we'd love to have you for Sunday Night Football. That will be Falcons and Vikings. We actually have a couple Falcons and Vikings fans. So make sure you guys hit us up in the Discord so we can get you all taken care of.
Somebody said in the chat earlier, but I don't even remember.
Black Market is a Minnesota fan, and
somebody in the chat said they would do it.
Hauser.
I think it was Hauser.
Let's see. San Francisco Bay Area 49ers. My quarterback is Purdy.
It's my quarterback.
Banged up, and my boy Kittle is hurt, but also is most of the
49ers hurt so often. I feel like 3 of the last 4 years, minus the Super Bowl run, they get hurt so much.
And then Christian McCaffrey coming in, it just adds
that issue before.
I know.
But yeah.
He's got to get those Achilles tendon steroid shots. Those
Kittle. When you look at Kittle, you're you would assume that guy would never get hurt. I mean, he's just a specimen of a human being, right?
He's built like a tank. You would think he's more durable. Strength and I was just about to say something about the strength and conditioning. you gotta clean some house over there or something. If it's been the same team for the last, you gotta get them out. Like, get out. Yeah. So, all right, let's move on to the next game here, and it's your boys, Eagles and the Chiefs. This game kind of settled in early on in the week. 1.5 point spread here for the Kansas City Chiefs being home dogs against the Philadelphia Eagles here. The current lines -110 for the Eagles to win the game, -106 for the Chiefs. So, they're saying this is going to be a close one. It's going to be basically close to a pick 'em. But under over total is 46.5 now. So, which is pretty consistent as well. Chiefs coming off a tough loss in Brazil, getting back to the States, and then you have the Philadelphia Eagles come into town, who had that game against the Dallas Cowboys. Jalen Carter will not serve a suspension for what he did in that game. He will be back in this game in Philadelphia's defensive line. So, Scotty, your boys banged up offensively. You have some issues with the wide receivers. You still have Patrick Mahomes. You still have Andy Reid at the helm, in the two most important spots on the field. But that being said, Eagles have a complete roster, a little more healthy. What are you thinking about this game?
They're a lot more healthy. Although weirdly, Dallas Goedert came down with an injury today and is questionable now. But he did lead the Eagles in receptions in Week 1 with 6. First, the Jalen Carter thing. We've never seen that before in the NFL. Time served as a suspension has never been a ruling in the NFL ever. But we just got it. Here's my issue with it. If he spit on Dak in the first quarter, let's say at the end of the first quarter, guess what? He's ejected of that game and he's going to be suspended for the next game. But because he missed the whole game, that they can backdate the suspension. That is such a bad policy from the NFL. Part of that is me being scared. I already admit that, but I'm frustrated that is just ridiculous. They've never done that before. Never in the history of the league have they literally backdated a suspension due to him missing the game before. It's fine. Now we'll learn. If you only want to miss that game, you just spit on guy before the game, not during.
Just figure that out. You don't want to play. Be strategic.
Just spit on a guy.
Be strategic with how you spit.
That's the precedent the NFL has set.
You gotta give him that hawk too and spit on that thing. You get me?
Obviously, the Chiefs didn't look great in Week 1, especially defense. Their defense was way worse than their offense. Mahomes was, especially in the second half. The second half, Mahomes was perfect. He was incredible. The defense did not live up to expectations. Couldn't get pass rush. Secondary sucked. Linebackers look slow. I don't know. That makes me more nervous than everything. We didn't get pressure on Hurts in the Super Bowl, and he killed us. Hurts had the most time to throw, actually, in the NFL in Week 1, and was garbage with it, ironically. He was not good in Week 1 throwing the football against the Cowboys. In a win, 24-20. But the stats, or the metrics say he was most time to throw, but at the bottom of EPA per play. So, I don't know. What am I saying here? I feel like, and Chris, maybe you have the numbers because you've thrown it on some other games. What are the percent? Everyone has to be dumping on Philadelphia right now.
So the public on Eagles -1.5. Public 73% on the Chiefs. The money 94% on the Eagles.
73% are on the Chiefs?
Public wise. And 94% of the money is on the Eagles.
That is shocking to me. I would have assumed everyone was going to think Philly wins. I can't touch this game because I think Philly wins. And
normally this is a spot where I'm just like, Chiefs underdogs at home. I mean, it's a teaser candidate if you want to. I mean, I know teasers are a little bit harder to do this season with the changes in a lot of the betting markets, but I mean, this would be a no-brainer teaser for me if I had that in my if I wanted to throw a couple things out there from a teaser standpoint. And normally I'd be like, Chiefs at home normally feels good, but I'm kind of on the side of Philly money line. I don't know. Chiefs at home are always dangerous, but
I'm looking at a site that says bet percentage is 65% on Philly and 83% of the money is on Philly. I don't know what site you're looking at, but I would be shocked if whatever you're looking at is right, because no one's betting on the Chiefs after week 1 and after they got smoked by the Eagles in the Super Bowl.
I mean, this is Sports Line's metrics of what they have. As far as like money line, it's all Eagles. If you're going straight money line,
I'm not going money line. I'm going bet percentage is 2/3 on Eagles. Money percentage on the site I'm on, which is sportsbettingdime.com, is 83% of the money is on the Eagles.
Yeah, maybe there's some. I'd have to look at a couple others just to cross-reference, but Rage Quit, by the way. What happens when the Redskins decimate the Packers on Thursday?
Are we allowed to say that?
Are we now? You're trying to get us canceled here? Rage Quit.
We just got canceled.
Yeah, we just got canceled here with our moderator's gone, and you're just gonna drop Redskins in the chat. I mean,
Bruh.
Anyway, so back to this game. So you think that the Philadelphia Eagles should win this game?
Should absolutely win this game. They have a way better roster. The biggest mismatch is at quarterback. That's the biggest advantage the Chiefs have. That's the biggest advantage the Chiefs have is at quarterback. Everywhere else, especially with the Chiefs missing 3 of their top 5 wide receivers, like including their 1 and 2, by the way. I don't know. I mean, Mahomes is going to have to pull a rabbit out of his hat for the Chiefs to win this game, I feel. But the only reason I can't bet on it is I feel like everyone's going to bet on the Eagles, and I feel like everyone is betting on the Eagles.
But the eyeball, the eyeball, yeah, the line, the fact that the Philadelphia Eagles aren't up to 2 or 2.5, I feel is kind of.
They should be at 3.
It's strange.
They should be at 3.
5th straight season.
The Eagles didn't look great in week 1. Don't get me wrong, but their roster is so much better than the Chiefs roster, especially with the injuries the Chiefs are facing. I don't know why they're not favored by more, to be honest. But I hope the Chiefs win. I hope the Chiefs win by 1 million and stomp on all their faces. I really, that would be amazing. I don't think there's no scenario where that happens, but I would like it.
Real quick, I'm looking at another one here. I'm looking at Action Network. Action Network percentage of bets. So this is another betting site. They have percentage of bets. Chiefs 74%, Eagles 26%.
How are these so misaligned?
I mean, I mean that's 2 between Sports Line and Action Network, which are 2 different.
Chris, I would be shocked if those are accurate. There's no way people are betting on the Chiefs after watching.
I think
the public is.
The only reason I could think about that is like the Chiefs as home underdogs after a loss. Like regardless, I think that there's still some level of people like thinking the Chiefs can't go 0-2. Like Mahomes is going to elevate this team. The defense is going to play better. That's the only reason I can think. Like, Chiefs as a dog at home after going 0-1. Teams that go 0-1, you typically take go on week 2 because history tells you that those are more profitable over time. I don't know. I don't know. Either way, kind of strange. That's why I'm staying away from it. That's why I'm not gonna mess around with it. You'd be happy with that, though. You'd be happy if the Chiefs won. I feel the Chiefs look super weak this season, says Medic. Bold prediction, Browns money line and Henry under 55 yards, no touchdowns. In that Ravens-Browns game. Bold prediction. That's bold.
Real imaginary. You're tell me again, who's your team?
He's 49ers, I believe.
Oh, that's
yeah.
let's talk about that.
So Browns money line and an 11.5.
Henry under 55. That's pretty bold.
It's pretty bold. It's a spicy take. Spicy. And I think that spread got back up to 11. And what is it at now?
I saw it at 12.5 at some point.
It came down and then shot right back up. I think we're sitting currently 11.5. So take that Browns money line. It's just under 5.5 to 1. If you like that value, I would maybe even just stick with that if you want. But that's just do it. Real imaginary. Maybe you can make some real imaginary money fly out of your wallet with that that bet. All right, let's move on. Seahawks at Steelers is our next game that we're previewing here for week 2. All right, Seattle. This spread is now 3. It went down to 2.5, back up to 3. So it's kind of been yo-yoing back and forth. Right now, Seahawks are plus 128 on the money line. Pittsburgh minus 152 on the money line. Over under set at a low, well, not super low, but one of the lower totals of the week, 39.5. So Pittsburgh at home in this one, hosting Seattle, Scotty.
Yeah. I'm not even excited to talk about this game. I don't know. These are two mid teams going at it. I know. I'd be curious to think what Rex thoughts are, and maybe he wrote about it, but I didn't see. On week 1 of the Steelers, because obviously the defense was supposed to carry him. The offense pretty much carried him a little bit in week 1. The defense had some certain issues against the Jets offense of all teams. Seahawks, that was a back and forth game. They could have won. They were in position to win late against the 49ers at home. Sam Darnold gets the ball hit while trying to throw a pass by his own lineman, and the rest is history. So I don't have a lot of thoughts on this game. Anything could happen. I think it's pretty telling after Steelers blow up in week 1 offensively that it's still at 39.5. That's definitely a low number, considering Rodgers threw for 4 touchdown passes last week. I think this game's going to kind of be boring to watch.
It probably will.
Two middle of the pack teams. It wouldn't surprise me. My lean at 3 would be Seattle. At 3, I would take Seattle.
3 is what my best bet of the week is for this week. So I will be taking Seattle plus 3 on the road. So Pittsburgh enters this game without 3 projected starters. Deshaun Elliott, defensive lineman Derek Harmon, and inside linebacker Malik Harrison, each rolled out with knee injuries. They signed Jabril Peppers as a stopgap safety. So there's a lot, like this defense did not do well against the Jets offense last week. I do think that the Seattle Seahawks have what it takes to maybe get a little bit more going here in this game as well. So, I mean, week 2, when both teams are 0-1 against the spread, the underdog has covered 26 of 39 times since 2014. And I guess here's the thing. Are we expecting, and we talked about this a little bit before, Aaron Rodgers throwing 4 touchdowns in game 1. Are we expecting that to be a standard for the Pittsburgh Steelers? I don't think so. I think that comes back down to earth a little bit. We also got to know that nobody has seen DK. This is a revenge game for DK. Nobody knows DK better than Seattle. So they're going to have ideas on how to slow him down and try to get him, in some tough spots. But I just think there's a lot of things going against in this spot, the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I'm going to take the +3 while I got it. At 2.5, I kind of get a little bit more skittish on this number. But if you're giving me 3, I'll take the 3 all day, which is why it's my best bet of the week.
One interesting comment that I have that's irrelevant of how this game goes, but like, does Seattle have the worst star power in the league?
Probably. We were talking about how bad they're.
When I was trying to make this graphic, I'm like, who should I put for Seattle? And I'm like, is really Jackson Smith and Jigba the best option?
I think so.
And I'm like, that's not good. They have 0 star power on that team. Maybe the most boring team in football in that regard.
There's
bad. Nobody, and not even like star, or at least like age stars that are still kind of stars but past their prime. No, they don't have that either. They have nothing. Yeah, I know. Like Colin Cowherd, he's a big time name in sports on Fox Sports. Was high on this team, and I was like, I don't know what he's smoking. The talent level. I mean, they better be getting a lot out of these no name guys, because the talent level on this team is not comparable to some of the other teams that we see in the league. But JSN might get there, but he's not there yet, and that's like their biggest. What am I supposed to put? Sam Darnold, Kenneth Walker, Zach Charbonnet. I don't even know. On defense, like they have a corner that's no,
it's bad.
They got nothing.
It's bad. But I still think it's good enough to cover against the Pittsburgh Steelers. so figure that one out.
Flat highs. I don't know.
All right, so there you go. Rec would absolutely be. I mean, maybe Rec would be on board with that. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure.
You think? I think Rec hated week 1.
Oh, I think he probably did too. Even though they won, I think he was
a disaster.
Struggling.
I think he hated it. I think he hated Rodgers succeeding at times. I think he hated the defense being not very good. I think he hated it all. He might have hated that they won.
He probably did. I don't know how he's feeling. We got to get a pulse on him when he gets back from his trip. All right. Bucks Texans. I know someone was asking about Bucks Texans earlier on in the show. So here we are. We got the matchup of the week. Not quite.
Monday night's gonna be fun. I think it's 2 pretty good matchups.
It'll be an interesting game for sure. I think
we have two games.
2. Absolutely. Las Vegas in LA and Tampa Bay Houston. Tampa Bay Houston will be the earlier of the games, but Tampa Bay 2.5 point favorite. 2.5 point favorite for Houston. Tampa Bay is the underdog on the road.
I put it somehow. Well, it auto corrected to how. I definitely put HOU.
How is -2.5? How is it -2.5?
And then at the end, it auto corrected to you.
Just we production
autocorrect's the worst.
It's the worst.
So let me type what I want. I know what I'm doing.
So Houston coming in this game 2.5 point favorites at home, -148 on the money line. Tampa Bay +126. Over under set at 42.5 in this one. Texans looking, I don't know. They were underwhelming. Is a perfect way to say when you scored 9 points against the Rams in week 1. It's not.
Defense was good.
Defense was fine, but the offense, CJ Stroud, didn't look as sharp as you would want him to be. Meanwhile, Tampa Bay last week, 23, 20 win over the Falcons. So Ibuka, 2 touchdowns last week. See if he can carry that in here to this Texans game. But Scotty, let's talk about Texans and Bucks.
Yeah, I'm glitching right now, so I don't know how this is coming through. Hopefully, okay.
Oh, we got you.
I have a sneaking suspicion in this game that a lot of people are putting money on Tampa Bay. The Houston game went exactly like I thought it would. I think Houston has. I don't think people talk about how good Houston's defense is. Houston's defense is probably a top 5 defense in the league, and they kept that game close and they had a chance to win late because of that. The Houston offense gets all the press, right? Like CJ Stroud was so good rookie year. Nico Collins, they got rid of their offensive line. They can't protect. They only have Nico. They're injured other places. They don't have a lot of options, and it showed in that game. They're relying on Nick Chubb. Love Nick Chubb in his prime. He's past it. Joe Mixon, if or when he comes back from his health injury, but he's out at least the first 4 weeks, so I don't know if he's going to move the needle a lot either. The Texans are a very dominant defensive team right now, and I think the offense is going to struggle, but that defense will keep them in any and every game. Tampa's probably a little more balanced. They were a little lucky to get away with a win last week. I like what Tampa's doing. Ibuka getting 2 touchdowns, his debut is great, but it was on 4 catches. I don't know if that's repeatable. They didn't really feature Mike Evans much at all, and Chris Godwin's still out. So like that offense is still gonna grow. The defense is fine, but aging at times. I have a weird. I think Houston wins this game. I think Tampa's gonna have the better season, but this game, I think Houston's gonna win. At home, Monday Night Football, home opener for them. Yeah, I like Houston to win this game. I can't even tell you for sure why, but I think the defense roughs up Baker a little bit, and they make some plays offensively, and it's enough. It's gonna be a close game.
Yeah, I think if I'm off it in the sense that I would like Tampa if this was at 3 a little bit more. Otherwise, if you're talking about the Houston Texans here, I could see them winning with the last-second field goal. Their offense, again, struggled. The offensive line showed itself that it wasn't that great. And underwhelming is, again, the word that I come up with when it comes to their offense. So I just think, the defense is going to keep this one super close. Tampa Bay. I do like how Tampa Bay is featuring Ibuka. Like, you're going into week 2 thinking he's going to be a threat. Takes a little pressure off of Mike Evans offensively to, be the guy that carries this entire offense. Because that's what we were wondering going into the season, is whether or not, one, Mike Evans is going to continue to do what he's been doing over the last, 3 or 4 years that we've been thinking he's going to fall off. He's getting old. He's not going to be able to do this again. Well, Emeka Ibuka will be able to help take some of that pressure off to maybe open him up a little bit now that he's kind of got a little flash from week 1. So I don't know. I think this is going to be a close game. I'm with you. It's going to be, if this was a 3-point spread, I would lean Tampa, but at this number, at 2.5, I could see Houston winning this game on a last-second field goal to take the lead and blow it up. So
another stat from last week, like Baker threw for 167 in a late win where he had to throw. It was a close game throughout. It's not like he was just sitting on it. Baker was the leading passer and rusher for Tampa in that game with 167 passing yards and 39 rushing yards. Michael Penix threw for 298 in that game. Feels like Tampa was lucky to get away with one there. I think Tampa might be a little flawed right now and overrated. And I'm not high in Houston by any means, but I think Houston gets the win here.
Yeah, and you also got to keep in mind, again, like the teams that go the teams that do end up losing week 1, I just putting those into a week 2 scenario where they have to win to go. No one wants to go 0-2. There's a little bit extra effort into those games. So that's another reason why Texans could be interesting in this matchup. What's up, King Clive? What's going on? Chiefs fan? Are you a Chiefs fan, King?
Rep.
If
Let's go, Chiefs. Welcome to the Red Kingdom. No, that's it.
Here we go.
Tech 9 song. There we go.
Shout out
Chiefs
Tech 9. If Scotty's a Chiefs fan, so you're gonna feel right at home here if you're a Chiefs fan. Who's your team if it is Chiefs? Where are you from? I'd like to get to know you. By the way, hit that follow button, guys. We will be live on Sunday night for Sunday Night Football, second half of that game. And then we'll break down all of the games earlier on in the week also after that game is over. So make sure you stay tuned for that. So make sure you hit that follow button so you know when we go live. We crushed it. Bingo. We gave out 4 bingos. 4 gifted subs because we got.
Sounds like the bingo board was a little soft.
Maybe I went a little soft early in the season. I mean, I picked the lines that were given to me on a couple of the betting sites. So,
well,
the
fact that both teams went over 40 points probably lends.
It probably helped. It definitely helped that both teams just blew up the scoreboard. So that, makes sense. All right, let's get to Commanders and Packers. Or, as some people in our chat like to say, Redskins and Packers.
Can't do that, Chris.
Yeah.
Well, now you're banned.
You also had 14 subs. We had a lot of subs that night. It was a great night. Sunday night was a great start to the season. Thank you all by the way, who were there. All right. So, Commanders at Packers. Now, Packers coming off one of the more impressive wins of a lot of the other week 1 games, 27-13 win over the Lions. Meanwhile, the Commanders had a convincing win over the lowly Giants, led by Russell Wilson. So 2 teams coming in undefeated. One will leave with a loss. But tail of the tape here, we have the Washington Commanders as 3.5-point favorites in this game. Or no, underdogs in this game. On the Packers, road. Yep. Yeah, Packers are the favorites in this game. Minus 174 in the money line for the Packers, plus 148 for the Commanders. Over under total set to 48.5. Now, this is an interesting one in the sense that we'll see if the Packers can look as convincing as they did week 1 against the Lions against this Commanders team led by Jaden Daniels. Scotty, do you think the Packers are the better team in this matchup?
I do. Listen, I was on a plane for the early game, so I couldn't watch Red Zone. So I had 2 games on the plane. It was Steelers, Jets, and Commanders, Giants. So I got to see a good chunk of that Commanders game. I thought Jaden Daniels actually played pretty damn well. Jaden Daniels is not going to have a sophomore jinx. Jaden Daniels is going to be just fine. Jaden Daniels will be the best quarterback that comes out of the draft from last year. I will say that now, after week 1. I mean, it's not that crazy to say, but I truly believe he's leaps and bounds better than some other good quarterbacks, right? But I think he's the best of the best easily. Saying that, and obviously the Commanders defense balled out, got tons of pressure on Russ. Russ needs to be benched immediately. I was watching that game and I was just like, the dude, if his first read isn't there, he just puts his head down and is just looking like he's just
the Russell Wilson experience.
Where am I gonna go?
It's the Russell Wilson experience.
And reportedly, why am I drawing a blank on the coach's name of the Giants? DeBall went into the owner's office this week.
So I heard this. Yeah. Beg
that they can start Jackson Dart, and guess what? They're starting Russell Wilson this week. So we'll see how that goes.
It's my quarterback.
Forward. Obviously, that doesn't involve this game, but I think the Commanders are going to have a much tougher test on the defensive side of the ball, facing this Packers offense that looked very comfortable and very good. Packers are riding high after the trade. They looked like one of the best teams in the NFL. Obviously, beating down the number 1 seed in the NFC from last year with the Detroit Lions. Commanders looked fine. I have questions about their defense. The offense I didn't score a lot, but like I think they left points on the board where I'm not worried about the Commanders' offense. Ironically, I'm more worried about their defense, even though the defense looked better than the offense in week 1. It's a thing. Saying that, I would lean Green Bay in this game. Short week on the road, Packers home opener. Or did they start at home? They started at home. This is their second week.
Yeah.
But either way, I lean Packers here. Just they're like on an emotional high right now and playing. I think they're going to play really good football.
Yeah, I was leaning Packers initially, and then I was looking at some of the Green Bay injury reports. They're down potentially 2 offensive linemen, Zach Tom, and what was the other one? Oh, and I think he's one of them. And then there's another one. And then Matthew Golden, limited with an ankle injury. Jaden Reed already playing less than full health with the Packers offense. Like, I feel like they're kind of have some weird injury things happening. But then I look on the other side and I see the fact that they got, Michael Parsons is probably going to negate some of that anyway because their defense is going to be good. So I'm like, part of me is like, oh, the 3.5 looks really good if the Packers are kind of banged up and coming off a win that I don't know. I go back and forth with this one. I left this off my betting card because I was just a little skeptical on both sides with some of the variables. So I don't have a best bet in this one. Maybe Commanders plus 3.5 because I liked what Jaden Daniels did in that first game, but I don't love it. I don't think it's something I feel confident in this game. So off the board. Otherwise, maybe some props in this one. Jordan Love over 222 total passing yards. Maybe that's interesting. I think that he could probably achieve that in this game. Terry McLaurin, anytime touchdown score.
For that, Matthew Golden's not on the injury report at all for the Packers. So
he's not. All right. So then I lean Packers a little bit more.
and the linemen are both questionable, which, who knows?
So, yeah, depending on how those end up turning out, I guess we'll see. But, I love my Commanders, but I don't think they cover, says Tickle.
Well, they don't have to cover. They're underdogs.
True. That's
True.
Yeah.
Or you don't think you think they lose by more than 3.5? Is that what you're saying, Tickle?
You're saying they're gonna just barely lose this game?
Can't. Well, no, he's saying they're gonna lose by more than 3.5.
Yeah.
If they don't cover.
Yeah. So lose by 4, don't cover.
4 or 100. All the same.
All the same. It'll be an interesting one. This is the Thursday night, right?
It's a good Thursday night game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thursday night football.
Tomorrow.
Mañana. All right. Well, there you go. That's that's gonna do it for this. Let's go ahead and let's bring up our best bets of the week. And here we go. So, Scotty. There's I believe
I think 3 of my games we didn't talk.
We did not cover 3 of your games. So go ahead, cover your games, and then I believe I covered all of mine. So you could go in depth on yours.
Yeah, that's why I did it this way. I just want to be featured at the end of our stream. That's kind of what I do.
Yeah. Taking the spotlight.
We did both talk about Jacksonville. So I get into Detroit. Detroit at home against Chicago. Chicago's short week. I think Chicago, Minnesota's quarterback play and offensive play was so bad for 3 quarters that Chicago isn't a great team, but should have taken advantage of it. Didn't. I think Detroit's going to be pissed off. I think they play really well at home. I think Detroit wins by honestly double digits. So they cover that 5.5. Moving on from that, Chargers 3-point favorites at Las Vegas. Obviously not a long trip for Chargers. Chargers had more rest because they played Friday versus Sunday. I know they had to come back from Brazil, but still had more rest. They look obviously the Raiders look good week 1 and a win at New England, but it's possible we just overhyped New England a lot. They didn't play well on either side of the football, in my opinion, in that game. I think the Chargers actually played well on both sides of the football, and it took like Super Mahomes to just make it a game, to be honest. I expect more from the Chargers moving forward. I think the Chargers cover that 3 points and beat the Raiders in Las Vegas. And then Carolina plus 6.5. I know Carolina did not look good in week 1. I don't think Arizona blows out anybody this year. I mean, they just had a close game against the New Orleans Saints, who we all maybe thought were the worst team in the league. That one wasn't great. I just don't think Arizona's a great football team. I think they're actually below average. So to be 6.5 points against a Carolina team that I know looked bad week 1 in Jacksonville, but like, I still think Carolina is going to be a decent football team. They had a couple unlucky breaks in that game with drop balls and things like that. I think Carolina keeps it close, and I'll take Carolina plus 6.5 at Arizona.
I think going back to last year, you love betting Carolina a lot.
And it never works. So I'll do it again.
Carolina is the same as the Steelers for me. Like I bet it so much. Soon enough, you're going to have your Carolina Panthers chip that you're going to need to carry with you moving forward. I think
unless they bring me the victory, Chris.
unless they cash in for you, you know.
Yeah, cash.
But
then I'll have all the chips.
Looks like we only have one super pick this week, though. Only one, Jacksonville. So we'll add that to the super picks, and then hopefully we'll be 2-2 at the end of this week when it comes down to it. But yeah, I mean, I think Detroit's probably the right side in that one. I feel like if I had a best bet there, it would be the Lions minus 5.5. It's a get right spot, and Lions were, I feel like just trying to feel things out, right, with the first week. I think they'll be in a little bit more of a rhythm this week. So I'm with you on the Detroit. Chargers, it was 3.5 at one point for the Raiders. I was like, all right, if I would take the hook, maybe if it was still around. I don't think it is. I think it's all 3, which makes me lean Chargers in that one. So like that as well. Carolina, I'm not sure on. So I trust the 6.5 though. That's a big number.
I think they're decent enough against an Arizona team that I'm not high on.
Otherwise, you guys know my bets: Jacksonville, Atlanta, Minnesota under 45.5, Seattle plus 3, and the Jets plus 7, which we already covered. So there you go. All right. So now, let's go ahead. Do we want to talk about real quick all of our contest rankings and see where we're at? Let me pull those up real quick. If there's any other games, guys, that you guys are interested in or curious in or have questions on, throw them in the chat right now. By the way, hit that follow button if you're new to the channel. If you've never seen us before and you're just hanging out with us, getting all the best football knowledge you could possibly get from the 2 best people that cover this sport better than anyone else on the platform, you should hit that follow button. That's how that works. But we'll be back live Sunday. Let me go ahead. Let me get our ESPN and our contest pools all pulled up. Give me 1 second here. Purdy could miss weeks. By the way, Lamar apologized to the fan. Just chill next time. Just daddy chill.
Daddy chill.
By the way, did you see that push?
I don't know if it was true. Did he Did the fan actually put on a neck brace for an interview after that?
I think that was I don't
that
know.
fake?
I think that might have been fake. At least I thought it.
that was fake.
I thought it was fake because the comment section was like, it was a little too. I don't know. It felt fake to me. I didn't look into whether or not it was real, but yeah, little.
Yeah, dumb fan, but also not a great choice from Lamar. Just like maybe just yell at him or something. Just don't put your hands on him. But I don't know. It's not a big deal to me either way.
All right. So let me. Yeah. Eliminator. A lot of people still in the Eliminator. Obviously, we lasted longer than 1 week, guys.
We did it.
Let's see if we can last 2 weeks. Coming up. All right. So here we go.
I don't know why it doesn't tie in. Hold on. Now I'm gonna see. I know I lost both my fantasy games because Milwaukee talked trash in the Discord, so then I looked at my fantasy teams. But there's only one fantasy team I care about this year, and it's my son's 3rd grade league.
The only one that matters.
And guess what? He's in first after 1 week, so let's go.
He was telling me about his draft, and I was like, "That's a solid. It's a solid draft."
Yeah, he's first. He's first after week 1. But wait, hold on. All right, I don't know. Eliminator. We don't have to talk about much.
Yeah, we don't have too much to talk about. All right, let me share my screen here, and we can get you all.
Everyone survived week 1, so everyone's alive. We had 14 entries, which it should have been more. I don't know why we didn't have more than 14.
Unacceptable.
Everyone survived. Everybody survived.
So here we go. Here are the week 1 pick'em. Hell in first place, 13-3. Chairman 12-4 with Medusa and Evil and Diacola. And Cuban. Milwaukee's Riley.
I haven't changed my name. I should probably do that.
Chris
Again,
Bayless.
I did this before I got on a plane real quick. I would be 11-5. I'd be tied with you, Chris, if I picked all the games. But, 10-4. It is what it is.
It's fine. Yeah, at least you didn't miss the whole week.
I have less losses than you.
At least
take those L's.
Medusa, crank it. That crank it's coming. But is crank it a thing?
Is that? Crank it in the face or whatever.
What is this? What is the saying? Crank it. I don't know. Forgot to keep an eye on you guys' league this year. You can still do it. Medic, if you want to join in on at least the pick'em, everyone misses at least 1 week, so you can still crush and win everything. So do the join in on the pick'em here. You can join in here on this one. Password Lab Rats. I believe you could still join. And no one lost so we don't have to worry about that. But there you go. Oh, and then I got to get the. What is it? The pool, the super contest.
I'm now looking that up as we speak.
Here we go.
Why can't it just show me the whole freaking week?
They changed the way this looks.
Oh.
So.
I went 0-4. Let's go.
You go. Oh, here we go.
I don't even know which teams I picked, to be honest. But I went 0-4.
Joe went 3-1. Joe and Rec went 3-1. A bunch of 2-2s.
We both
went 0-4. Like, hey, we're trying to go get the jersey, you and I are battling out for the jersey.
Yeah.
I went 4 in one of my other super contests. It's looking rough out there, guys. It's looking rough. Benny went 0-4. He's challenging.
I mean, as a full squad, we would have lost so much money this week. The fact that we only had 2 above 500 and everyone else was just trash. We had a few 500 and then everyone else lost. We would have lost so much money.
Don't you win prizes for having like?
Ironically, good news for me is the only bet I actually had this week, because you can't bet in Washington, was on Dallas plus the points, and I won that one. So I made money in real life, but here, and that would have been one of my picks, but that game had already happened by the time I got into this.
It's a rough go.
It's
It's a rough go, guys. We're gonna improve on that, by the way, just so you know.
It's hard not to improve.
it's so it could only go up from here, ladies and gentlemen.
The good news is everyone else was so bad that we're right in the mix, Chris.
Yeah, normally we have a few people who go absolutely ballistic.
Like a couple 4-0s, or at least more 3-1s than 2.
Yeah, we have people that go absolutely ballistic. Like there was someone who was at what 65% win rate or 70% win rate last year. It was crazy. But either way, it's a long season, guys. Don't judge us. We're still human. All right. That being said,
turns out we shouldn't have shown our contest, Chris.
We should have
wait to show those until
we should have forgot that part of the show. We should have just left
Cuban,
that out.
what's up? I think you guys did great. Thanks, Cuban. We made 4 picks. All right. It's just as hard to go 0-4 as it is to go 4-0.
It actually is. By the way, Cuban, you're down there 0-4 with us. So there you go.
Oh,
man.
Yeah.
There we go, Cuban.
See,
Congrats.
all of us are in the same boat here, Cuban.
Yeah.
It feels great.
Let's all converse on our picks so we can't all go 0-4. If we at least take different sides of things,
I mean,
we could, at least somebody gets dubbed.
Is there a world where we act? See, here's the thing. I would actively try to lose and go. It would be impressive.
And then you would go 4.
And then I would go 4-0. Exactly. So then it's just like there's no way I could figure out how to win this. It's crazy. But anyways, I'm gonna find somebody to rate because that's the end of our week 2 preview show. So thank you guys all for being here as always, guys. Sunday night we're gonna try to get Hauser. We're gonna try to get Black Market. Hey, thank you for the bits, D Cola. Appreciate that love.
Thanks.
Go Broncos.
Chego Broncos.
Chego Broncos.
Chego Broncos Sir 1.
I would love to hear how that was with the
I just want to
TTS.
say what's on the screen. I don't know.
Let's let's go ahead and let me see here. Let me see who's live. I always like to look around who's in the just chatting. Oh, they have we could raid Kai Sinat's Mafiathon day 3.
Just do it.
You want to? Let's do it.
Why not?
He's only got 150,000 people watching his stream. No big deal. Action Lab, want a side bet? I'm bowling tomorrow. Any bets on what my top score will be? My last top score was a 179.
It's hard to prove your score, you know? It's not that I don't trust you, Medic. I do. But also you could just be like, well, I bowled a 400, which, by the way, impossible. I checked. Can't do it. Can't go above 300, Chris.
Can't do it.
I almost did one time. I almost got a 310, but photographic evidence. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to make an educated bet when I've never seen you bowl before, Medic.
It's a little tough.
So I'll just let you enjoy the night. Enjoy your bowling tomorrow. I hope you break your high score. How about that? I hope you beat it.
I'm taking his. I'll take the over.
Yeah, I don't want to bet against him.
I'll take the over, knowing that he's gonna crush it. So shout out.
You're gonna hit 187. tomorrow.
Man, I haven't bowled in like 2 years. I haven't bowled since our last family bowling outing. That's the last time I've bowled.
And it's probably because you avoid it because you lose to me every time.
I mean,
you can deny that, but it's true. I win the family bowling every year.
Yeah, you kind of have a little streak going. That's fine. I mean, maybe I'll work on my bowling game.
Well, I bowl like once a year, like you do, but you know, it's fine. Back in the day, I was breaking 200. I wouldn't say on the reg, but like every like 5 games, I'd break 200. But I don't have that in me anymore.
Yeah, I got to work on my bowling game. Well, maybe I'll go bowling like next week, this weekend, maybe. I don't know. Who knows? Try to work on my game. Either way, guys, we're gonna send you over to Kai, who is counting 372,000 subs and growing. And maybe he'll give us a shout out. What if Kai Sanat gave us a shout out to Action Lab Sports in the midst of his thousands of subs that are rolling in? Who knows? But shout out to him. He's doing some crazy things. Love you guys. Between now and Sunday, go be a good person. Go live in the moment. We don't do that enough. Put the phone down. Enjoy the people and things around you in this crazy, crazy mixed up world, and go be a good person. Just be nice. Be a good person. It doesn't cost a thing, and
Don't shoot.
We
or
need
stab
it.
at anybody.
don't shoot or stab anybody, please. I think that's the
It's a
takeaway.
good goal. Good goal.
Yeah. Love you guys. Have a great night. We'll see you back here Sunday.
Love you guys. Thanks for hanging out. See you Sunday. Deuces.
Come on, Kai Sanat with the shout out. I'm feeling it.
I don't see how it doesn't happen. Oh my gosh. I don't even know if he's ever able to read the chat.